All right, my name is Savanna. I am from Austin, Texas, and I am a student at the University of Texas, and I am visiting Boulder, Colorado. I consent to being interviewed and recorded.
Awesome.
So I am a audio-visual intern at a marketing company in Georgetown, Texas. And essentially the company does anything from graphic design to video to photography for products, commercial, or just web design. So in a typical day, activities really vary a lot. It really just depends on what kind of projects we're working on. So I'm a part of the photo video department, so we handle all of the photographs and all of the videos for various companies that we are contracting with. But because it's such a small company, we also end up taking on other projects that include anything from, content writing to graphic design. So since I'm an intern, it really just depends on what we've got going on. A lot of the times I'll edit pictures of products that we've shot, or I'll set up if we're gonna shoot, or I'll organize prop rooms, or just menial tasks that an intern does. So there are different departments. Like I mentioned previously, I'm in the photo video department, so I work closely with 3 other people. One of them is named Andrew, and he is also an intern, but he is a 3D design intern. So he works with 3D modeling, 3D renders for products. And then Paul is my other coworker. He is essentially an art director, so he's kind of an intermediary between interns and my boss, and he takes care of anything from shooting, so being the one who films or takes pictures, to editing, to graphic design, to whatever we have going on. And then my boss is Abraham, and he's in charge of the photo and video department, so we all report to him, and he just is the main director of photography, and it just runs the show. So it's really interesting because I'm the only woman in the entire company. I believe there's one other woman who works as she's the hiring manager, but she isn't based out of our office, so I don't ever see her. So in the office, besides my department, there's the design department and the programming department, and then the engineering department, which handles a bunch of stuff I don't understand. And so I'm the only woman who works in the whole building, and I'm an intern, so I'm also not in a position of authority. So I really just have to do what I'm told, and everyone else is a man, so it's kind of, there's not really that distinction because I'm the only one there. So the main time that I can think of where the gender of me or a coworker was an issue is when we are shooting, because there's sometimes a lot of heavy things that need to be moved around. We have this one client who makes desks, and they're really, really heavy, and obviously I can't lift like a 200-pound desk, so I really wasn't able to help on those shoots very much. But beyond that, it's all pretty standardized, since a lot of it is online, or a lot of it's digital. There's not so much distinction between what I can do and what like my male counterparts can do. So I would say that there's definitely been several occasions where I've been taken advantage of because of my gender, both in traditional sense of that and in the workplace. So because I'm a woman, men tend to just typically not see women as equals. I think it's kind of innate. And so sometimes I would do something and there wouldn't necessarily be anything wrong with it, but they would kind of look at it in a different light just because I'm a woman and also I'm young. So that would kind of affect how they critiqued what I did. And then obviously there were a few instances where I don't want to say sexual harassment occurred, but definitely, if you're one woman in a building full of men, like it's bound to where some of them are hitting on you, like, and that did happen a couple of times. It was nothing serious though, so I would say that my gender didn't necessarily inhibit my relationship with my coworkers, but I also can say that my relationship with them would have been different if they were women. So if they were women, there probably would have been um, more of a sense of competition, but in a healthy sense. And because they are men, it's like unequal footing at all times. So it's not really, I'm never on the same par as them, even though Paul and Andrew are both my age, more or less. So it's kind of like I'm seen as a subordinate. And I think it's not only because I'm an intern. I think a lot of it is because I'm a woman. And if I worked with women, I think it would be more of an empowering type of environment. Well, I don't really know if my work supplies an environment for gender equality because, like I said before, I'm the only woman there. So, I don't really know why I'm the only woman there, but it's not like they are going out of their way to hire women. And I'm not sure if that's just because in this type of profession, meaning, digital career fields, either creative or non-creative, I feel like a lot of them are men, and women are just now starting to, participate in those fields. So I never felt really like they were purposefully not hiring women. I think the main thing that could help balance, the lack of gender equality in my workplace would just be to hire some more women and allow them to interact with the men and kind of make it more immersive versus just, a man's in charge, there's only one woman, and so it's very just patriarchal. And I think that just having a more diverse, group of people working there would make it more balanced out. So I'm not really a feminist or anything. Gender equality and gender equity aren't like a huge, sticking point for me. I don't really think that it's even possible for, in our climate in society today for there to be absolute gender equality. I think that gender equity is probably more feasible because people are willing to reason with themselves and say, oh, well, she's a woman, so she is this because of this, and so therefore we should accommodate her. I think that's more feasible than men and women are equal, because there's just people in this country and in the world and at large that have specific viewpoints that they're not willing to change. So for me personally, I don't get all hung up on it. I am an independent person. Just because I'm a woman doesn't mean that I'm not going to make my own money or, create my own life. I don't let that stand in the way, but I don't really look at it in terms of gender. I just more so look at it as I'm a strong individual, perfectly capable of taking care of myself.